Hello, Mr. Jake.
Hey, good.
Mr. Brett. Mr. Brett had some good pull request feedback yesterday. I saw that.
Hello.
Hello, hello. So I'm going to kick things off a little bit. I'm going to talk about a little bit of what the interns went through this last week, and then we're going to do some demonstrations and see some of the work they did. So this week was really focused on cybersecurity, secure coding, so on and so forth. Now, I will say, if I can get my mouse moving here, unfortunately, we did suffer a few cyber attacks last week from my evil twin, Goran Thompson. So all of the interns got familiar with Goran, but some of them were able to successfully defend some of the cyber attacks. See if I can bring this up for everyone. Let me try this again. Is everyone able to see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So, this is a cyber attack from my evil twin, Goran Thompson. But luckily, our young professionals were there to save the day using our web security best practices. There's Mr. Terrence there. So we went through that with each of the teams. In addition to our ongoing weekly project work, and we also did some HTML work this week as well. So I will turn it over to the teams. We'll start with Mr. Phoenix. Phoenix, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, Phoenix, take it away. Talk about what we did this week.
Okay, just give me a moment. Sorry. Can you all see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So I was born. Alright, so for my team, what we did for right now is our customer wish for us to be able to create and delete data. To what the user's liking. This is kind of just a little brief showcase of kind of the work my team did. And another thing Warren mentioned earlier was about security. So he had us download cover code guard. What is it called? I'm sorry.
Coverage gutters.
Coverage coders, sorry, which shows up here at the bottom. So we will go to any file that we kind of want to see how protected it is. So this one right here, as of right now, is only 73%. Has 73% coverage, and it updates automatically for each file that you open. So, it is a good way to kind of see how protected everything is, because no client would want any project that isn't working. Warren also mentioned how we did HTML writing this week. So I'll have my team kind of talk about um, some of the work that they created. So we'll start with, sorry. So sorry if you could tell us a little bit about what you did.
I just made like a flower dictionary because I really like flowers. Like, for example, my phone case is flowers. So that was like an idea I had, and that's what I did. And I also like pink. That's why I have a pink color palette and made it like glow. And yeah, that's it.
Okay.
That's really pretty. I like the flower dictionary.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And then here is Kariana. So Kariana, if you can talk a little bit about what you did.
So I did mine about me because I feel as an 18-year-old, I have accomplished so much in my life with making t-shirts, doing designs with shoes, and also about to start learning how to do tattoos as well. Um, I love to get my information out there so I can have self-employment as well. So that is why I made mine's about me.
And then this is kind of my little thing. Something to carry on is it's kind of like a little get to know me. Um, so there's like some information, uh, and like some drawings that I'm currently doing right now, and trying to finish. Um, and then a little animated Santa Claus at the bottom, because Lauren said it was going to be a little extra bonus points. So something I did. And then Josh, if you could tell us a little bit about yours.
Yeah, so this one, it's just a very simple web page with a little video in the background. It's very simple. I just wanted something that was more modern, and it's pretty much about it. I mean, it's a little surprise in there too, you know?
Yeah, and I think he also put a lot of hard work in getting the link for the read more to work. Um, so hope you all enjoy it.
Ah, I can't believe it. Good one, Josh. Good one. Oh, Jose says he knows the link from memory now. Oh, good job, team. You have is that it for your team there, Phoenix?
Hmm?
Is that all for your team?
Yeah, that's all for anything.
All right. Great job, Teenage Mutant Turtles. Those are some really nice looking web pages. Rick rolling aside, that Starry Night background was really cool too. Yeah, great work there. Okay, we will turn it over to Mr. Jose and Team Doom. How are we doing this week, Mr. Jose?
All right. So, hello, I'm Jose. We've been doing all right. We've mostly been like working on just rebuilding our stuff because it wasn't working too well. And this week we focused on refactoring our awful no good code. So now it kind of uses solid principles, unit testing, code coverage, and it's going to be hopefully off to a good start. Let me present. Okay. Wait, just a minute. Is it presented?
Yep, we can see it.
Okay. So as you can see in this part of the project, me see. This week, unit testing was something we had to delve in deeply. We didn't know how to capture like terminal output and making sure that each function outputted something correct. So let me show the unit testing parts. So that was something that we focused on in this week because we had to go back to the basics and start like from scratch, basically. We had to overcome hurdles like rebuilding our class diagrams, doing other planned work. And we were hoping for all of this work to be able to speed stuff up when our team members get tutors, so hopefully soon, or when we get additional help. So as you can see here, we just made some like classes, interfaces, etc. That was basically like our whole objective for this week. And we also had our website, so let me share that too.
All right.
So we thought that the website was supposed to be like one for each group, not just like, or not one for each person. And we didn't really like, when we reached out, we didn't really get any response that denied that.
Okay, that's fair. One for the team is fine. We'll take a look.
Okay. And let me open it up.
And while he's working on that for all the technical tutors and everyone else on the call, we are still 2 tutors shy. So we had a couple drop out and haven't been able to find replacements yet. So that has impacted this team. If anyone there knows anyone in their network, two engineers willing to mentor 2 young individuals, have them get in touch with me directly so we can get Jose and his team some help there. Oh, there we go.
Okay, so we also made a supercalifragilisticexpialidocious website where we advertised our totally not a cult. So this cult centers around adoring the Doom guy from Doom, like in our name, like in our team name. One person in our group especially likes the game Doom, so that's why we just made it like this. To be honest, it looks like a really weird website from the 1990s. That was our vibe. And as you can see, we use some newfangled technology called CSS animations to change the background color, as well as move the Doom picture. So like here. And you can see how the background changes like, or can you see? Yeah.
Yeah.
From red to blue. To simplify things, we included small snippets of CSS and JavaScript directly into the HTML file. It's probably not the best practice, but it's good enough for this project. So now we're all 18 years old. My birthday was in like a month, or was a month ago. So now we're boomers in internet time. So we decided to make a subtle nod to the website of the 1990s, full of rickrolling and other things. We also use JavaScript for a few of the buttons, like Sussy Baka, click here for a free download, Among Us, No Virus, 10, and that. Click me for unlimited Prime, like in the Doom Eternal Twitch Prime thing. And we had a few links. So Texas. Ta-da! Yeah. We had a link to Paris. Best Baguette in Paris, which is apparently closed right now. And it seems like it's only open Saturdays or something. And also to this website. I found it on Reddit, and it seems like it's pretty cool, to be honest. It really gives like 2000s vibe when the web was really cool and like not standardized. And if you want to buy a car, then well, you can do that from our website.
That is something.
Yeah. So in the future, we may adapt our BitLife project to add more systems like intelligence. We were also able to We also have ideas on the story mode, but that's like probably for another project. And our presentation was somewhat short today because we didn't focus much on adding new functionality this week. It was just mainly looking at like why team members were having trouble and our project wasn't working great. And this is the source code for the website. This code, or this like text even messed up our Visual Studio Code. So you can see here how it interferes with the rest of the code or the rest of the text.
Huh.
Yeah.
I've never seen that before. Yeah, great job there, Jose and team. Sometimes we do have to go back and tear it all down and start over, and that's okay. It is important to get those foundational pieces in place and start to think more from an object-oriented perspective and less from the end goal of the application. One of the things we did this week is stay completely out of the app.java just to get out of the mindset of what is our app going to do and think more in terms of what are our objects going to do. I tell people it's like building the Legos before building the Lego sculpture. You really want to have good, solid Lego pieces to play with, and then you go in and put the Lego sculpture together.
Oh yeah, and also something cool we did with the website was use this like old marquee element to make it slide across the page.
Oh man, I can't believe the browser even supports that still.
Yeah. I got it from an old HTML book like from 20 years ago, so I'm surprised it still works.
Yeah, it came from when I was about your age, and we put that marquee tag in everything. That was something 17-year-old web developers did at the time. Marquee all the things. Well, that is really awesome. Cool art there, and lots of work went into that website. So, very good. Appreciate it. Great job, and your team's doing a great job getting up to speed, even with the lack of help from the tutors. Like I said, we're going to work to rectify that problem. We're trying hard to recruit, so hopefully soon. Let's move on to Christian, Team App Hack. How's it going?
It's going a lot better than it did last week, honestly. Oh, let me share my screen real quick. Okay, so last week we were working on the data writer to have basically all of our like basics, like all of CRUD into our like app file. And so last week we had already completed the commands for create, read, update, and delete. And this week we were working on the read all command so that we could implement our CSV files, which was basically a list of all of our Pokemon that we had here, instead of having it inside the app Java itself. So for this week we worked on writing the read all command here. And we also worked on, I guess, implementing our CSV files, like making this list into our test here, so that we could always like end up changing it or just loading it back up if we ever needed to delete it for some reason. And so here are all three lists. Each of them make the CSV file that we have here. So if I were to delete I don't have to delete all of them, but if I were to just delete like these two, and then I wanted to bring them back up, I would just choose, I think this is the one for challenger contents. So it makes challenger contents there. And this brings up 10 Pokemon, shows you the list right there. You can just bring up the list, and then it'll just bring it up over here. So that's how we were able to, I guess, just make the list here. And then we worked on implementing it into our apps like file itself, which is what we used here. And doing this, we were able to have our apps file able to read all of these, so that we wouldn't have to have all of this specifically into our app file here. And so doing that finally made our code a lot like cleaner. And it also made it actually made it like functional. Well, that wasn't the best way to show it, because we haven't figured out the problem with not accepting the lowercase letters. So we always have to have uppercase with all of our answers. So here it works fine with all the Pokemon that we have. For next week we need to like edit some of these because they're not giving out the responses that we have, because we ended up changing how we like make the list. And so I think we're gonna have to set some values for these that actually have the specific answers that we want from them. Because here we get he will not roll, which is not what we want, or this homework still isn't crumple, which is not what we want to be printed out, I guess. Then if you put in no, it gives the same thing. We put in yes, it compares the two different Pokemon, which we have going here. And so here it just pulls out from our CSV file that we have here, and I just list off the stats from the Pokemon that we have already have up there. And that's all we did for things in terms of the app. For the HTML, I wasn't able to work on it as much as I wanted to, but I was just working on like a little concept idea of like making up those weird like scam, like I guess like pop-ups that you get that would sometimes like say, oh, you're like our 100 customer, you know, you got like a link, and then like it gives you like a sketchy link, and then like, you know, it asks you for like different things and stuff. Here's some of the coding. This is like basically all to just make a timer. That's like what you have to like do to like get it for 3 minutes. Here is like where you can set the time. Here is my CSS file just to make it look different, or like just to give like some things like colors or like font sizes or something like that. The actual thing itself doesn't look that great in my opinion, but you know, I wasn't really trying to make it look like really good. I was trying to make it look like really as sketchy as it possibly could. And then like, you know, trying to just get it to like work. This probably was the hardest part I had to do here.
I was gonna say, it looks like a real scam website for sure.
I mean, like, I feel like most scam websites look pretty bad and terrible and obvious, so, like, I don't think I had to put in that much work to, like, make it look like one. And then here, I wanted to, it takes you to a new link that I have right here, and it's a different HTML, basically. And I wanted to have this part basically just, let me get my face out of there. I wanted this to, like, I wanted to have, like, different sections, like, closed off here, so that this would, like, have different payment options, I guess. Because, I had once seen, like, a YouTube video that, like, there were, like, for scams, they, like, give different payment options, and then, like, they put a big error sign here saying, like, all your files are going to be deleted in, like, 5 minutes if you don't, like, give us, like, $100, like, gift cards, or a debit card, or in, like, in Bitcoin or something. Something like really like stupid, and like I really wanted to try it out, but I've only like been able to get the text box like inside there and like loading it into a different file. And that's basically all I had here. I think someone else in our group had something to present regarding HTML. Something else that I don't have. So, do they still want to present it or no? Yeah, that's great.
Kayla said yes. 1 second.
Okay, this is really good. Honestly, I feel really professional right now, and I just want to say I'm really glad that all of you guys are here with me.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, sorry. Sometimes, for some reason, it'll like my mic won't work, and I have to leave and come back. Okay, so I'm gonna present mine. Oh, does it not let me pick a desktop? Okay. 1 second. I have a dual monitor set up, so I was hoping that I could have it set up on one screen, but you know, that's okay. I'll just move it over 1 second.
Yeah, that's the same thing that happened with me and Goran earlier.
Yeah, I don't know. Slack is fine with it, but for some reason,
not Google Meet.
Google Meets is kind of hasn't decided yet if it wants to allow that. Okay. Okay, you guys can see. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna preface this by saying like, this is like really simple. I have like all these buttons. Basically, at the beginning, like when I interviewed and they had us go and do like one of those activities on code.org, I chose to make like an app, and it was just like kind of like Instagram, but it was all cats. So I was just making something kind of like that. Here.
So Trisha is our UX expert. She likes your nice, consistent button styles. Are we still there, Michaela?
Oh, I don't know why you muted me. I was just saying, I never thought about this before, but when I hover over the buttons, it like turns into the little hand cookie sign. I don't know why I thought that was so cool. I was just like, oh, wow. So when you click on these, it's gonna show you a picture of all the guys. So that's what that one does.
Great.
But it doesn't surprise me.
It also does that.
All of the okay.
Is there any actual cats on your cat website?
No. All of these buttons go to that link, and the backstory on this is that when we right at the beginning of when we started learning learning code and everything like that, we were learning about bits and bytes, and Warren had us decipher this message that he sent us using the information that we just learned, and it was a Rickroll, and I vowed from that day that as soon as I had the opportunity to, I would Rickroll Warren. So it doesn't look pretty, but it's functional. I think it works great.
Revenge was accomplished, and we had a cat website with 0 pictures of cats. Only Rick rolls. I think that's fair. Revenge occurred. Okay, thank you, Michaela. Christian, do you have anything else to share from your team?
I don't think so.
All right, great stuff this week. So this is another team that was able to kind of catch up from last week's work and finish out the sprint, and we're back on track after a pretty hairy week last week. Took some time to breathe, did some cool stuff, had some fun, and back in the saddle. Let's switch over to Mr. Ulysses and the team Magi. How are you doing?
Hello. I'm representing Magi today, Team 3. And for this week, it was pretty hectic. In the sense that we had to do a lot. We were learning about cybersecurity, and we had a little mini project where we had to create our own web page, which I thought was out of nowhere, but I was sounds pretty cool. Sounds pretty fun too. Why not? And all while we were still trying to work on our project and catch up with other teams too. So for our webpage, I'll just start showing off what I did. Let me see. Can you guys see my screen?
Very nice.
Wait, can you see this?
Yep.
All right, so it looks pretty wonky. I don't know, it looks goofy, but at the end of the day, I was aiming for that. So, but, no, not really. So I was I wanted to make a little simple web page for recipes for just food, and I was just playing around with HTML, and I was just adding random stuff. I had a random Doge, and I was oh, this seems pretty fun. And I kept getting at it, putting random stuff, and I lost track of time, and then I ended up just being this. So I was whatever. So you got. So that's pretty much what I got. So copyrighted, all rights reserved by Borg Productions. So you got our homepage. Takes you to a Dogecoin. You go to our tabs. You click Doge 2048. You want that? You go to the about section. You'll learn about what the Doge meme is about if you're interested. I implemented a little button right here. Probably were thinking it was something cool, but no, it was just a little pop-up bed. Little link right here. We go.
Do you write code? Tab 9 helps you code faster. Using artificial intelligence.
How do you get square balloons? Blow square breaths.
Scared me for a second there. I'm very glad it was a different meme entirely.
No. I wasn't gonna play with it. We got all our dancing doge, dancing to some like crap a little bit too loud probably. We probably didn't know what it was. So that's pretty much for our little webpage. I managed to do this. I forgot what I did exactly, but I thought it was pretty cool. Little Doge Twinkie right there just moving around and having our little logo right here, a little Doge called Dogecoin. Yeah, I thought I did a pretty decent job for like how goofy it is. Alright, so going to our then project, my team couldn't really show their webpage because they went through some technical difficulties, so that kind of sucks, but it happens. So for this week's project, we had to catch up with other teams and implement CRUD, and we also had to create like a scenario object that would allow us to actually play the game. We're trying to create like a little RPG with like low decision making. So we had to create a scenario that has like our thought process here. We had to create a scenario, and the scenario is supposed to have choices because then each choice then has a response. So that's the whole gist of it. We thought like, how are we gonna code this? Well, a simple idea was that a scenario is each scenario, like let's say even right now, we could say this is a scenario, like work environment. I have like two choices: continue my demo or just like log off. And then each choice is gonna have a response. So we went with that idea, and we were like, oh, okay, we can probably code something because we were kind of confused on how to approach and finish this task because at first we didn't want to write other smelly code like I wrote right here that I have to refactor this later on, and my team has to help me check out if it's okay. So from this we had to like create something simple as just like less code, but they get still the job done. So with that, we create like 3 classes, like a scenario, which is like the scenario, a response, and choices. Since our client wanted us to create a scenario object, we thought that scenario object cannot be the main class for those 3 classes. So we thought, okay, so going by scenario, then choices and responses, we could just flip it. And our response would be our main parent class, and our child class would then be choices, and then from there would be scenario. So scenario will inherit whatever it's trying to get from choices, and then it will inherit what we'll get from responses. And with that idea in mind, we managed to create this task that allows you to actually play the game, whatever scenario that we want the user to play. So I'm just gonna run the app real quick. So for now, we managed to still works. If you want to create a character, you can just say, be sure, yes, character name. And then that's what we wanted. Less code than trying to do all of this. We managed to do it in a few amount of lines. So with this in mind, this is where we can start actually like getting our game together. So we said, this is the scenario title, and this is a little intro to that scene. And you got your options. You can choose left path, right path. Let's just go with the second one. So something's there, and that's basically it for now. Later on, we'll enhance on what we got and just make it better. We worked on pretty much that, and yeah, that's what I have to show for now, at least.
Awesome, very good. So I was really impressed by Team Magi this week. Not only were they able to catch up to the other teams, They got the full CRUD implemented with their data handler.
Yeah.
So they kind of got up alongside everyone else, and then they started working on their next story, which is this scenario here. So, great job backfilling, getting all that tipped back up. Really put in a lot of hard work this week. Is appreciated. And that HTML page looks awesome. So one of the things that's really hard and kind of tedious to do in HTML is layouts. And the layout on that page was really smooth. Like it looked almost like a professional actual web page layout. So, yeah, great work there. And great job, team. You guys have really, really ramped up this week. And so, really appreciated. Awesome work.
Yeah, well, thanks to you and my tutor. They helped a lot.
Awesome. And who's your tutor?
Brett Yates.
Mr. Brett. Big props to Mr. Brett. Thanks for the assist.
Yeah, changed my perspective on how to think on things, so that's good.
That's what I like to hear.
Thank you.
Now, Mr. Brett, if you can find me a couple more of you, that'd be appreciated. So with that in mind, great job this week, everyone. You're really starting to catch up, come together as a team, deliver kind of cool looking products, right? Each of those websites we saw today, like kind of really cool, interesting, different stuff, all in their own unique ways, plus the Rick rolls. We're done with those. I don't want to see another one. But yeah, great work this week, everyone. Does anyone have any questions or comments for the team? I want to throw it out there and get some feedback from some of the people on the call.
I just want to say that I really like the layout of the project because I think everyone's layout was all right, but I think theirs was on point.
Very good. Anyone else? I agree with Armani there. Jake, Aaron, San Juana, Jacob.
Nothing specific, but awesome job. I enjoyed all the demos.
Yeah, great job, and I love all the the 90s and the early 2000 throwbacks. So those are great. Much
I
appreciated.
love seeing how much fun the whole team, even across teams, are having with each other. That's great coming together in a short period of time.
Yeah, we have some great teams, and I think all of you are kind of coming towards the end of your storming phase, starting to work together a bit more, and I like to see that. We're going to have some gaming nights coming up, and I think I've talked to a lot of you about that. I'm going to get some gaming nights on the calendar and do some fun things together to bring us even closer. But yeah, it is really good to see all of you working together, supporting each other, So we have kind of a private chat where I prep everyone for these demos, and it was nice to see, a couple of you were nervous, but a couple of others were like, hey, you got this, stepping right up and supporting each other. That's what we like to see, right? That's how we help each other and pull each other along and come together, because we're all kind of in this together, supporting ourselves. So that was really nice to see as well. If we don't have any other comments, Trisha came off mute. What do you got for us?
I was going back and forth. I just like the camaraderie that's developing from everyone. It sounds like a good group of folks.
Absolutely. We are stronger together. That is for sure. It was true in the military. It was true throughout my entire engineering career. You're always stronger together. With that in mind, I'll wrap up the demo. Great job this week, everyone. Great progression. Great job getting that Gorin guy out of here. I hate that guy. And we will see each other again next Friday. Thanks, everyone.
Good job. Have a good weekend.
Good job.
Have a great weekend.
Good weekend, everyone.
Great job, everybody.
Bye, everybody.